welcome back. So it's been a week and they've let me go. I fulfilled what they asked, and I've put down my iPhone, and I've put down my Note, and I've put down my Pixel and my LG phones, and I've been using the OnePlus 9 for the last week. And let's just get into it. So start off, I've had some issues with the cameras, figuring out why recording limits are there even when they don't say they are. I know they are on 4K and 4K 60, but when I set it to 1080p 30 to record this video and it crashed, shut off, stopped recording at 2 minutes and 21 seconds. After the first time when I sat down and put it on 4K 30 and it didn't give me a 5-minute warning and stopped at 5 minutes. And so this is the third, fourth time that I'm sitting down to do this, and I'm using my iPhone now because, well, it works. And so that's a little bit of concern for me. Also, the front camera on the OnePlus only goes up to 1080p, like 1080-30, and while that's okay for most instances, I like the higher resolution so I can punch in on things, also capture stills from it, and have more than a 2 megapixel image out of it or 3 megapixel image out of it. Rear cameras, though, have been kind of another story. When I first got it, the shutter delay was horrible. It's improved over time. It's still there. I still would recommend the Pixel 5 or a Pixel device or a iPhone over basically any other Android device I've used. If you have kids or pets, or you take pictures of plants and they're moving a little bit, or anything that's really moving, because in all my testing, the blur that's there, or missing capturing your kid running around or your pet because they move just a little bit just as you're going to snap the photo, they move out of frame, so either you catch the tail end of them blurred or the back of their hand or hair, or you don't get them at all because they've moved completely out of scene by the time it actually snaps the photo. So that's been an issue with, like I said, almost every device that I've used, including the OnePlus 9. That's really only my camera issues. I like the natural colors. I like that they're not too warm, they're not too cool. Some people, that might not be so appealing because they might like the more contrasty or more saturated photos, a little bit warmer. But for me, I like that they're natural. I like, as a photographer, as someone who carries, a full-on camera around, as someone who went to photography school and completed my photography courses and certified in that, basically a degree in that, but the college I went to calls it a certification, and I prefer the more natural kind of flat color tone to the video and the photos, and I can adjust them myself, and the raw and pro mode is really nice. But even for just basic use, point and shoot, I like the natural look and the natural skin tones, and it's not too warm. It doesn't make me look too brown or too orange or too red, and it doesn't make me look too cool, too blue, too green. It's just natural color, and takes fewer adjustments to get it to look normal to me. Usually it's things like I just gotta adjust the highlights down a little bit and bring the shadows up a little bit because the clouds behind me are a little bright and the shadows are a little dark, because cameras balance things out to the midtones, to the middle, to the gray, and so that has to be done with almost every photo if you want it to look balanced across the board. But the subject is the important part of it, and I think that's what people forget about when they're talking about cameras, the subject being important. And for me, the color has always been spot on when it comes to the subject. So apart from cameras, what's really important is, to a lot of people, is that the device always works. You're able to pick it up and it runs, and you're able to take those photos and you have good battery life. For me, the worst I had at the end of one day was I was taking a lot of, testing 8K video, 4K video, taking a lot of photos, uploading while I was out on 5G to test the data speeds on T-Mobile on it, out and around. And I ended up at the end of the day with about 40%. Threw it on the charger while we were eating dinner, and 15-20 minutes later it's charged completely again, and I'm good to go. Another story I'll share with you guys is last night out to eat dinner, and we get pizza and then we drive from there to a park about 20 minutes away. It was at 70%. I knew when we got to the park I was going to want to take some photos, some videos. I just wanted to see how long it took to charge, up to 100%. Yeah, 70% is plenty. Easy, make it through the rest of the last 2-3 hours of the day back to 100, and throw it on the charger and be good to go. But I just wanted to see how it worked with the 30-watt charger I have in the car. Plugged it in 22 minutes later, 100%, good to go. So as far as battery life that I've been experiencing, maybe 6 hours screen on time at worst. I average around 8 hours or so. I, don't sit there with the brightness cranked all the way up and watching video on moderate data speeds that are struggling, to maintain. I'm not doing things that are a power user might use it for. I've edited some videos. I do take videos. I do take photos. I take B-roll. I use the device like I would use any other device, but I haven't found that I've needed to throw it on the charger partway through the day to get through the rest of the day. I've only done that to kind of test the charging speeds at different points, and to be able to include that in my long-term review down the road here. So battery life, power, cameras, what's next? Oh, usability. I like the customization. Customizing the icons, changing the notification, the quick settings background to the color I want here. I like that when you press and hold the power button, you get the options to have your Google Home settings in there like you would on a Pixel, and your pay and, emergency contacts and stuff. I like that it's very similar to the pure Android with some added customizations. I wish that it had some of the call screening like the Pixel has. I wish that the cameras were a little bit better. But apart from that, the smooth use, you won't be able to see this, scrolling here on Twitter, but typically when I do things like this, a little bit scrolling like that, the icons will get jittery on other devices, even with 120 Hertz on, and I found that that's not a case with this. I found that the experience has been really nice, multitasking. I don't have anything else open. I'm one that tends to close things out when I'm not using it. Probably why I tend to get decent battery life, but if I am going between Twitter and Instagram and Telegram and YouTube Studio and Facebook Messenger and whatever other apps that most people might use and that I use, being able to swipe between them, I haven't found any issues with crashing or any issues with apps reloading or things like that. And I just have the 8 gig RAM, 256 gig storage option, or 128 storage option. But it's been a great experience so far in the last week. And if you're someone who has kids or pets or things like I said, I would recommend the Pixel 5 or the iPhone over this device. But for everybody else, and for capturing short video clips here and there, for taking photos, for doing things that I do in everyday use, I haven't really noticed much of a difference between it and the other devices that I use. I get battery life to make it through the day. In the instances where my day is longer and I need to top up a little bit, I want to make sure I'm good to go. I'm going to throw it on GPS. I want it to be, 80%, 100%. I just throw it on the charger real quick, charges up real quick. Standard charger, I can use the charger with my other phone, with my, tablet, with my laptop, devices that use USB-C, earbuds, things like that, and be good to go. And so if you are a OnePlus user, let me know what your experience has been, no matter which model you have. If you have questions about the OnePlus 9, things you want answered that I didn't kind of cover here yet, things that you want to see in the full-length review, let me know down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you're informed when my other videos come out. And feel free to, share the link to this on your social medias. Check out my social medias down below if you want to reach out, connect with me, ask me questions, share your photos with me, and have this experience amongst technology together. Thank you for watching. My name has been Michael Pepper of Michael Pepper Tech, and I will see you in the next one.